Ali, welcome to Music Friday Live. We are really excited to talk with you today.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here with you.
I should tell our listeners that we're now sitting at the Civic Center Studios soundstage in Los Angeles, and this interview is also being videoed, and an edited version is going to be posted on our YouTube channel. Ali, first of all, thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. I know you're a busy girl. Your music is really high energy electronic pop, but you put feeling into it. You manage to weave meaning and thought into the notes and samples and sounds. Does your classic musical training have anything to do with that, the way you can extend notes and infuse them with emotion?
Totally. I feel that the education I had on classical music really put that kind of like feeling and emotion into translating what I feel into sounds, basically, since I began that when I was 4. And then also when I began studying guitar, I was around 7, and I went onto the blues, jazz, metal, rock, so it really gave me like the hardcore feelings that I also infuse in my songs. So I get, like, I think like really getting like that background in music really made me move my emotions into something like higher and to really portray like what I'm feeling into my own music.
Well, I want to play for our listeners a little bit of that. In fact, I want to play one of the songs that really demonstrates what I mean. This is En tu piel, which I believe in English means on your skin.
Yes.
You know, in any language, that grabs your gut. And I think it's especially powerful in Spanish.
Thank you.
The video that goes with it is also kind of intriguing too. The chains and the bars and the cell and you and glitter and taking control.
Exactly.
Where did that imagery come from? In fact, where did the whole idea come from?
Well, actually the song, the meaning of the song is about treason and when somebody cheats on you, basically. So that's why it's so like a hard feeling demonstrated not only in the vocals, in the music, but also in the video. And that's why I also had this idea of the video with the chains and like being in a cage. And like in the end, the song talks about like when you are able to set yourself free from that treason and like go ahead with your life. So like when I go ahead with my life, I'm able to go outside of the cage, and instead I put the man that betrayed me inside the cage. So it's like, now I'm gonna put on your skin the scars you left on me. So that's basically like the main message of the song.
So that's a real thing, that there actually is a man who was foolish enough to betray you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it happened like, I think like 3 years ago. Yeah, and he was such a dumb boy, but anyways, I'm over it.
Well, that to me is the essence of stupidity, anybody that would do that. You know, and looking at your videos and your Instagram feed and all your Facebook photos, a lot of things kind of pop out. One thing that really pops out is you've got an eye for costumes.
Oh yeah.
Do you design your own costumes?
Well, I actually have my own designer back in Colombia. His name is Julian Pinzon, and he has his fashion brand Mason Finch, which is like really into that kind of metallic clothing and like kind of like superhero-ing clothing, because I really, like when I began performing, I always had in mind like this idea of superheroes. I have been a huge comic books fan since I was little, and I always remembered that like when I played music when I was little, and still when I do, like I feel a superpower is like it awakes in me basically, and it's like what it transforms me like on stage and like makes me this superhero I'm always wanted to be. So that's why I decided like to implement like this kind of like clothing that is like very specific, and I always have like the ideas of what I want to wear, and I just like communicate the ideas to this designer, and we work together to bring those crazy like imageries we have into something real.
Well, they work really well.
Oh, thank you so much.
In fact, later on, we got some emails this week from your fans, and they got some questions about that.
Awesome.
We're going to get to those, okay? Do you feel, for your persona on stage, you have a feeling of who you are, how people see you? Or is the Ali Jones that I see on stage, the Ali Jones who's just you? I mean, the Ali Stone that I see on stage, just the Ali Stone that's just you?
I feel it's just me, basically. Like this is like I'm super transparent like of who I am. Like what I was referring to basically like with the superhero and stuff is that maybe like when I'm on stage I feel like kind of like more confident, and it's like I feel like in my own skin, like performing and like making music. But in the end, like I'm super real, and I'm not trying like to put on a mask and like show people like this is the artist, but then like this is the not artist person. Like I'm the same like anyway. Like even if yeah, my full name is Alicia Maria, but like I'm still Alicia Maria like anywhere. So and I try to keep it that way because it's also like about like being grounded. And I feel like when artists lose themselves and let like their ego fly away, it's like when they have like this kind of like differentiation between like the artist persona and like the real persona. But I always like my dream is to always keep it like super real and like to show people this is who I am and this is who I want to be.
You know, you mentioned confidence,
Uh-huh.
and you performed in front of huge crowds.
Yeah.
Stephen Stills once told me that when he walked out on stage as part of Crosby, Stills and Nash, and there were 50,000 people out there,
Uh-huh.
it terrified him.
Uh-huh.
And he was terrified until they actually started singing. I get the feeling in watching you that you're not terrified, right? That you're in control, you're excited, you really want to go out there. Is that right? That you're no fear?
I think there's always like this kind of fear, but it's like a positive fear. Like it's, I don't know, like this excitement that, because it's kind of like you're going to show your whole soul to the people. So like I feel like in any situation when you're going to be like super transparent and show people like this is what I live for, this is my passion, like you have some kind of fear because it's like something so personal to you. But also like in the end, like it's so exciting like to see like I'm having this opportunity of communicating and connecting to people like what my real passion is. And then when you see like the people cheering and like singing with you, that really lifts you up. And that's when I feel like the confidence boosts like in you. And yeah, then like when even like when I see myself like performing, it's like, oh wow, like I look like so happy like doing it. So I feel like always like there's this nervous feeling like excitement, but it's also like very positive because it's kind of like the energy that pumps you like to make a great performance and not to go play there and like that's it.
Well, it seems to work. You do
Oh,
great
thank you.
performances.
Thank you.
Your confidence has done something else too. You're an icon for women.
Okay.
You've excelled in a man's field in Latin America, which is not easy. You were the only woman on the 2016 Billboard list of people to watch, and it's often been said that you represent Latinas worldwide. Does that responsibility intimidate you a little bit?
Well, I feel like it's not so much intimidated, but it's like kind of like proud of knowing that I have kind of like this responsibility in me, because I've always taken like female power and like that Latin representation like super seriously, especially because you mentioned like in this industry and especially in the scene that I work with, DJs, producers, engineers, like there's so little representation of women. But whenever I can like bring the power of women in this, like I feel happy and I feel like kind of like that's my duty, like beyond making the music, like to also have a purpose, like a social purpose, and being like a representation of that female power and like Latin power is one of those purposes I have in mind. So I feel like it's something that really like fills like my heart, like fills my heart and like makes me like super proud to be. And I hope I can continue like being a role model, especially like for girls that want like to perform in the industry or that want to chase their dreams in the end. Like I feel that's kind of like what you want to inspire in others, like to aspire to inspire other people.